Okay.
Where's my intro?
I ain't like that. I tried to do it, but I don't know. So, hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And we've got a load of guests today. We've got Chris from Sci-fi Sigma Screen Time and Sci-fi Sigma Toys, two good up and coming channels. A few videos put up today by Chris, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. And also tomorrow, me and Chris have got at 10 a.m. a talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, haven't we? Oh, is that your preparation?
Yeah.
Oh my God! I've done absolutely nothing.
That's all right. It's fine.
Hero Turtles.
So, Hero Turtles. I'm just going to have to wing tomorrow. I'm the wrong. I feel like I'm the wrong person for Turtles. I think that it should have been Rob.
He's been invited as well.
Oh, was he? Okay.
Yeah. So I didn't announce him on the main post just in case he couldn't make it, but he said he could. So thought like a surprise special guest. So it's all right.
Someone knowledgeable at least.
Yeah, I'll just be like a spare wheel in that one. I don't even know what names go with what colours, but there we go. And obviously we've got Luke from Luke's World of Movies and TV.
Hello, guys.
A late addition to the chat, hence why he's absent from the thumbnail.
Was that the best picture you could find of me?
I always search for a good picture of you, Gareth. It's either that one or the bra on the head.
That was a private picture.
Sent to me.
Weird style.
For personal use. So we have Gareth in. He's popped in for maybe only half hour or so. So we'll be saying good riddance to him come past. No, I know you've got another live, didn't you? You got a live at 10 o'clock.
Yes. With the fun times at Hamburger Hill.
Oh, cool.
Classic.
Yes. And then we got James from over at Movie Mad.
Hello, folks.
How are we, James? All right?
All right, not too bad. But as I was saying, I just had a look at how many movies there are out in 2023 and how few I watched. And I'm going to be honest with you, how few I actually enjoyed that I did watch. It's just seemed that, just for me, was it a good year for movies? I don't think it was.
Well, we'll delve into that, and we'll work on an answer. But the answer's no. It wasn't. End the stream, and then obviously Matt's in. Co-host. I'm hoping that me and Matt can get back to doing regular or semi-regular chats, because it's been, I think the second half of last year, it sort of dropped off, didn't it? Quite a bit.
Yeah, we just sort of did them every now and again, didn't we? I mean, maybe not necessarily every single week, but yeah, try and get a bit more regular than we did.
But I mean, I've me personally, I've time for me at the moment is like it's a commodity. It's something that I don't have any time at the moment. I've got a lot going on at home, with my dad moving in because he's old and things like that. I'm back to work now after I actually had nearly 6 months off. I had a 6-month sabbatical from work, much needed. And there's so much gone on. A lot's gone on for me over the past. That past the last year was horrible, but there we go. But yeah, so let's get into 2023.
Can I just start that there's a bit of a lack of diversity on this channel at the moment?
What, are we old?
My woke channel won't stand for this.
We got Luke. Luke's the young demographic.
Yeah.
Chris.
That's it.
Chris looks young. He's got that. I was surprised when I found out his age. What's the diversity problems, Gareth? Come on. Share.
Females for a start. Where's the totty?
Oh. Okay, so now you're assuming gender.
I've seen the pictures.
That's not good. Yeah, Larry in the comments says you got one foreigner. James is Scottish.
Yeah,
So there we go.
that is true.
But yes, it does lack a bit of diversity, doesn't it? Well, there's something to work on. There we go. That's you can't get any work.
If you get Meg from Meg versus movies.
Well, there you
or
go.
Meg movies. Yeah, you could get Meg.
We start at the bottom and we work up. We can't get any work. Can't get this lower. So
this is
we've
why
had a couple of ladies on.
For you.
What?
We've had a couple of ladies on. Patty Tally Putt Palmer. She's come on.
Yes.
Lady in America.
Right.
Get what her name?
That was with Dimension Scott.
Yeah. Forget her name there. Ray. She's
That's
nice.
Yep.
Yeah, so we've had a couple of ladies on.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Your
There you
token
go.
one's on.
Tiny percentage, but there we go. Anyway, so 2023. We're at the start of 2024. Why not look back at 2023 and the good and the bad? The good, the bad, and the ugly. So, does anyone want to start with any surprises? With any, I don't know.
Any good ones?
Any opinions on 2023? Because I think I went into 2023 thinking that it was looking quite promising. It was coming out of COVID, came out of the COVID period where things were quite, well, not particularly great for film. And 2023, I believe it started off looking quite promising with some of the films that we were getting. And then what happened? Also, anyone in the comments, let us know your favourite and worst films of 2023. What you really enjoyed, what you really hated, and we'll get them up on the screen and we will share our thoughts on them. So anyway, let's start with some lows of 2023.
Expendables 4.
Oh,
I didn't watch it. I haven't watched any of them yet.
There's no point. It took.
Expendables 4. It was. Sorry, go on.
What I was really looking forward to and thought was going to be really good that disappointed me was the creator.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah.
It was a shame. Visually stunning, absolutely amazing to look at, but lacks something.
Yeah.
I can't say much about it because I switched it off about 25 minutes in.
Original sci-fi.
I did watch it all the way through, but I was just expecting so much more.
Yeah.
And
did you watch that one?
Boring.
Did you watch that, Luke?
Yes.
Okay. What did you think of it?
Rubbish.
Rubbish. Fair enough.
Pretty summed it up.
Yeah, no, I saw it. As I say, like the guys, it's very beautiful. It just the story lacked. I think the guy did Rogue One, if memory serves me right. That's the right director.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
And
when
Godzilla,
you give him,
wasn't it?
yeah, when you give him something that's already kind of world build, like Rogue One was a really good film because obviously Star Wars and the whole universe was out there, whereas this was kind of his own universe, and it just the story just lacked so for me in places. Like there was even like the start, the very beginning bit, and his wife dies, and that you don't have enough time to actually get to connect with the characters before they kill her off.
Yeah.
Spoiler.
This is the problem with a lot of the films is there's not enough time for character development, so you can't get invested in the characters. They're all very one-dimensional. This is what we're finding now with the writing styles.
So when Chris said that, I'm going to call that the Zack Snyder effect. Because Zack Snyder is very, very similar in a sense that once you've if you give, I said this in, I think I said this in one of my videos recently. If you give him something that's established, he'll work wonders with it. So you know, Justice League, his Justice League cut was a great film, but you've got all these characters that are already established, and he has to work within certain parameters with them. But the minute you give him free reign on a film,
you get Sucker Punch.
Yeah, Sucker Punch, Army of the Dead, this new one that I fell asleep during, Rebel Moon, and only saw the beginning and end. You lose. He can't do it. Visually, he can give you something that looks good, but it lacks any depth completely.
But do you think it's the fault of the industry wanting so many films to be put out so quickly? The writers aren't having time to fully develop these characters, or if they do, the studios are saying, well, we've got to trim this down, it's got to be within 2 hours. So a lot of stuff's getting cut out. You know, the art of film is, as we've said before, AJ, the art of film is disappearing. It's just a money-making exercise now. Very rarely do you get a film that, you know, will really surprise you.
The problem with Rebel Moon, I think it was streaming that made a big problem with that, because there's people saying that they can't make movies for the budgets that they want anymore, because they didn't, when they released it in the cinema, they got a big hit, and then when they released it on DVD and Blu-ray, they got a big hit, and you know, money, and they just can't put as much money into it. I don't think that Rebel Moon looked terrible, but the problem was it was written as a Star Wars story. It was pitched as a Star Wars story, and they just changed it about a little bit, named the characters. You know, Anthony Hopkins is a C-3PO character. You know, they've got his on the trailer. They've got his voice, and he had a tiny robot part, which made you know, a farce. To be honest with you, I got through it, but I'll tell you what, halfway through the film, I was sitting on my phone going, "What am I watching?"
So has everyone seen Rebel Moon?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry, Matt, you're not missing much
No.
in that one. Let me just have a quick look. Luke says, hope the stream goes well. Noah says hi. Adrian, hello. Micah, did you see that? How you keeping, mate? You all right? Martin McBurney, hello, guys. Bonjour from Larry. You replied, mate, yours. Sorry you've been absent from work, AJ. I really hope everything is okay. Always here if you want to talk. Thank you very much. Yeah, no, it was fine. Yeah. Oh yeah, George. I agree. 2023 was disappointing. A few movies I did enjoy was Equalizer 3.
Yeah,
that was good.
Great movie.
That was a good film, yeah.
Better than 2.
Yes, I agree. Better than 2.
Not seen it because I wanted to watch 1 and 2 again first, and I watched 1, and I thought that was great, and then I watched 2, and I was again thinking, what am I watching here?
Yes.
Yeah. You shut off me.
I haven't watched 3 yet, but yeah, from what you've said, it sounds like it's a lot better.
Yeah,
it's
2
back on track.
was very, because I watched them both in the run up to 3, and I found 2 to be very patchy.
Yeah.
It seemed very patchy film.
Yeah.
Not very cohesive in what it was doing.
He does like me minor things into, and then, you know, like saves somebody here, somebody there, and then there's a big story which doesn't seem to gel together with it.
No, that's right.
Yeah.
Just quickly, Noah says his favourite was Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, and worst Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. Dishonorable mentions, the creator. Hope it was better, but wasn't. Disappointing film. So
Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. I went to see that in the cinema, and there was some good bits in it, I thought, but the good bits I thought were, I liked the 80s style of the Transformers in it, but the story was just generic again. Something needs to be found to save the world from, you know what it reminded me of? Age of Ultron, almost the exact same storyline.
Yeah.
You know, when that thing comes through, or is that Avengers Assemble where something's trying to come through to Earth? And then they've got two characters, human characters you don't really have any affinity with. Well, I didn't.
No.
And then they turned one of them into a guy with an Iron Man suit on.
Yes.
Basically.
Joe.
Well, I mean, Chris will know that the Iron Man suit, as you put it, is a sort of nod to Transformers the movie.
Yeah.
And it, Sam Witwicky in that, Sam has a robotic suit. Sort of turns into a car and he drives around in. That's the origins of that. When you say that it's interesting because you say that it reminds you of Avengers with something coming through. Because Transformers films mold together for me.
Yes.
What Transformers film was it where Cybertron was coming through? Was that Dark of the Moon?
Wasn't that all of them?
I don't know. They had something. Cybertron stuff coming through close to Earth.
Yeah, but wasn't Cybertron in Rise of the Beast?
Yeah.
Come on, Chris, you're the expert.
No.
Transformers here.
Yes.
So
AJ's talking about obviously Unicron was coming through in Rise of the Beast. Unicron we saw in I think the last night, and that came from the planet Earth that had Anthony Hopkins in it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of it. Must have been one of the earlier ones where
there was one where because I'm thinking it was Dark of the Moon because they got them.
Yeah, it was.
They went and collected them things that they had to set up.
Yeah.
And when they sent them off, it started pulling
Cybertron
itself through to Earth. Yeah. So it was exactly the same as that part in Rise of the Beasts.
Mm.
But yes, it lacked the human element. And what bothered me was you had Bumblebee in 2018, which was a great film that seemed to take Transformers in a new direction, only for us then to be given another
generic
Michael Bay-esque Transformers movie that you can actually watch without even... You can watch the Transformers franchise and take Bumblebee out of the equation now, and you wouldn't miss that film as part of it. And that's it was disappointing in that sense.
If you're going to watch a Transformers movie, just watch the first one.
Yeah, 1985. Yeah. Have you ever done a watch party with that, Gareth?
Not yet. New offering.
I'm sure Chris would be up for it.
I haven't actually ever seen it, so.
Oh, there you go. And Chris ain't been on one of your
Chris will be the expert on that one.
Yeah, exactly. I'll bring the expert on, not you, because you're useless.
There we go. So anyway, but yes, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse for me was my favourite film of the year. I know Chris had issues with it, but let's come back to that in a minute. What did anyone else think of it?
Never seen it. Never seen any of the Spider-Verse films, I'm afraid.
Okay, all right.
It was all right.
What's that, Gary? You say
it was all right.
All right, Matt. I know you started it. Did you finish it?
No, I didn't finish it, but I've got a 3D copy coming. So I'm waiting now for the 3D to come.
Oh, cool.
Apparently, it's the only one in the world as well. I got it off eBay. The only seller, so I'm a bit dubious about it. But we'll see what it. But yeah, I'm hoping if it comes in because I got the first one in 3D. I really enjoyed the first one. So yeah, I thought no, I'll wait for this 3D version to come through and then I'll watch it.
And cool. And Luke, what's your thoughts on Spider-Man?
I didn't like it that much.
Oh, there we go. Hot take there. My favourite film of the year, and Luke didn't like it. That means where's that eject button for the thingy? The ban button. And Chris.
Yeah.
Chris, who's also a big, because if anyone watching, Chris, he's a big toy collector as well. He's got loads of films, seriously, tons and tons of films. He's got tons and tons of toys. He loves his toys, and comics as well. So our interests very much align. And your take on Spider-Man?
See, I liked it more than number one. I said, and it had like the design of the Vulture and a few other bits I really liked better than the first one. But for me, and world building and consistency and art, it was for me. If you are building a world, for me, it has to be consistency. And when you have a multiverse, so to speak, or the Spider-Verse, if you want, each world has its own kind of designs, which is fair enough. But then for each world, it kind of switched between different art styles. And I said there's a kind of a effect that they have. And I remember it when he's having like a barbecue on the roof. And all the background looks like it's kind of 3D, you know, when you take off 3D glasses and that's what it looks like in the background. But they switch between these art styles in each world. And it was just so distracting for me and so inconsistent. And the one thing that really hits home with all the money that they spent in Spider-Gwen gets to Miles's house, picks up a figure off his shelf. And Miles is like, no, don't touch that. And I looked at that and went, I can't tell what that's supposed to be. Now, if you wait 1 second. This is the guy that it's supposed to be. And it looks nothing like that. The art style is all over the shop. And I was like, I love this animation. And
broke it.
It's just a stand. It's just a stand. It's all right. Yeah, this is a anime called My Hero Academia, and Gwen picks this up, and I could not recognize this is what it was meant to be. And I'm like, if you're paying millions and millions of pounds for people to animate something, and it's such a sloppy way that you couldn't tell that, you know, something you really like is in it. That's my problem. There are good bits. I'm not saying it's the worst movie out there. And I say it probably is in my top 20 or 30 movies, but it was nowhere near my top 10.
All right. So we now know, just because they upset him with that little toy figure. Was it that exact toy figure that you're holding?
Yeah. Well, it's not the exact figure, but this is the character.
It was that character that they had in
so
the film.
obviously, if you take a look at that figure, then go back and rewatch it. And when she picks it up, you try and determine that this... You will look at it and you'll be like, I've got no idea. And I mean, I think I mentioned it to you earlier. When Gwen's in her apartment and she picks up a purse off a shelf, she says, "Oh, this is my purse" or something, or it's not. Like I couldn't tell that was a purse unless she'd said it, and just how it was drawn and stuff. It is all that stuff that just really distracted me. And I was like, if you're trying to build a world and stuff, if she had done it like the Vulture, if his world was all like him. And, you know, Miguel from 299, if his world was perfectly all like him, and I would have been really happy with it. I probably would have loved it and would have been exactly like you. It's one of the best probably movies they did. But because it was so inconsistent through each world, it just throws me off. But I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to art stuff and that. So
right. Did you just by chance have that figure to hand? Because that wasn't planned.
No.
Did you expect Spider-Man to come up? So
no. But obviously, this is anime. So anime sits there anyway. So he sits on the top shelf. So I could have gone.
Just since Chris is on, I brought my Transformer for him. 1985.
What is that one, Chris? Do you know?
I don't. It's not I don't think it's an official Transformer. I got it for my Christmas, 1985. It's a robot winch truck that turns into a robot.
Nice.
Cool. Chris has got some Transformers. I'm telling you, he's got loads.
Yeah.
More than meets the eye.
Yeah. I had the pleasure of holding Blaster when I went round. I said, "That's the one figure I want to hold." I wanted it as a kid, never got it.
He's got batteries and he's got a winch and he can climb up the walls and stuff like that. So I got him for my Christmas, 1985, and I've still got him.
Nice.
Fantastic. So let me spend a bit of time with Gareth, because I know Gareth's going to shoot off at about 5:30, and that's about 6 minutes away.
Yeah.
Hardly worth him coming in.
It wasn't.
Nice.
Such to see your face.
Yes. So Gareth, come and just enlighten us on some of your best and worst of the year.
I didn't know there was homework for this.
Come on.
I did enjoy meeting Haunting in Venice. I didn't enjoy Scream 6. Cocaine Bear was okay. Haven't seen The Marvels. Haven't seen Thanksgiving. Didn't like Evil Dead Rise. Blue Beetle was okay. Expendables 4 was terrible. Hypnotic was all right. Equalizer 3 was great. John Wick 4 I loved. Meg 2 I actually enjoyed. 65 was all right. Cobweb was not much. Haven't seen Infinity Pool. The Crate I haven't seen yet. Plane was good. Haven't seen Saw X. Covenant was good, but nothing special. Pope's Exorcist I did enjoy. Heart of Stone was quite bad. Extraction 2 was really good. Did enjoy Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. And haven't seen The Killer or Aquaman 2 or Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey.
Was Sisu 2020-23?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, I did. That was good. Yeah, that was.
It's not on the list on IMDb. I thought I thought Sisu was a really good movie.
Yeah, it wasn't on any of them, but it did. I did enjoy Oppenheimer.
If we'd all done what Gareth done just then, we'd been over and done with him.
Oh, exactly. Get on with it. Well, I still missed out. Knock on the Cabin, that wasn't good. Transformers Rise of the Beast was terrible. Wonderful Knife, I didn't see. Creed 3 was rubbish. Operation Fortune wasn't bad. Didn't see Freelance or Rebel Moon or The Nun 2. Dial of Destiny was not an Indiana Jones film. Super Flesh was very entertaining. Oppenheimer, I did enjoy, but I'm in no rush to watch it again.
What about Barbie?
Didn't see Barbie. I know that's your film, but it wasn't for me.
Oh, watch party coming then.
You may live to regret that. How many copies do you own now?
I've got 3 copies of Barbie.
And how many times have you seen them?
What do you mean, seen them?
Seen them? What? Have you actually watched any of them, or are they all exactly the same now? They're all Blu-rays and
2 different steelbooks and this set that came with the CD soundtrack in it and that sort of thing.
Yes, I couldn't keep up with the amount you were getting.
No, that's it. 3. Okay.
At the moment, yeah. What about the Dutch one that came out at Christmas, the limited edition? Surely that's the next one.
Well,
Red
there
light
you go.
district.
No, I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Now, Gareth's giving us a quick rundown of his best and worst. There was so much there that I didn't take none of it in whatsoever.
I'll do it again.
No. I know he said he liked Haunting in Venice, which Matt didn't.
I switched it off. I just found it boring. Wasn't for me.
I do like Agatha Christie, so I'm biased, but I didn't enjoy the look of the Egyptian one, Death on the Nile, because it was just.
Yeah, I quite like that one. Whereas
it looked like Expendables 4.
It did.
I didn't mind it. I didn't actually quite like the stuff on the boat.
Yeah, definitely.
So again,
it's not original.
Everyone watching, drop down your best and worst of 2023, or some surprises or anything like that, and we'll get to them and see what people enjoyed. So okay, Ian's here. Ian Hill from the Ramblings, Admiral. Evil Dead Rise, worst film of the year. Evil Dead Rise, and favourite was Infinity Pool.
Haven't seen Infinity Pool.
Haven't seen either.
No one's seen any of them.
I saw Evil Dead Rise. Very good.
Okay, James, did you?
Infinity Pool, no, I haven't seen that, and I haven't seen Evil Dead Rise either.
Oh, blimey. Okay. Yeah, Evil Dead Rise for me was just a carbon copy of the
Evil
first
Dead
Evil Dead film,
Yeah.
and the 2013 Evil Dead film, just with a place change, a different setting. There was no originality in it whatsoever. I was watching this exact same film. Exact same film.
So I don't need to watch it now.
Sorry? No, seriously.
So I don't need to watch it now.
It's just transposed from a cabin into a block of flats.
I've only actually watched The Evil Dead recently, like in the last couple of years, because I think I turned TV on one and the Army of Darkness was on, and I thought, this is great, I'm going to watch the first two, and the first two disappointed me. I liked the Army of Darkness better than the first two. I was like, I put the second one on, and I was like, this is the same as the first one. What's going on here?
Yeah, Army of Darkness it was my introduction.
I preferred that to all of them.
The second film, the second Evil Dead 2, tells the story of Evil Dead 1 again, but in the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then
I was like, I downloaded it, so I thought, have I copied the wrong thing here? So,
yeah. There we go. Blu-ray movie says Air was a pleasant surprise. Who would have thought
Yeah, that was interesting.
would be so interesting? Yes.
well, that's Blue Roy Movies. Roy is my friend, and he's recently started doing his own YouTube channel after some encouragement from me and Larry. And I don't know if you've seen his shelf by shelf videos, but he's got a cracking collection. So if you do want, if anyone is watching and wants to give a sub to get him up beyond what he is now, feel free.
Absolutely.
I'll watch. Yeah, I'll watch him.
Definitely.
Oh, cool. And if he wants to come onto a chat ever, he's more than welcome. Check it out. But yeah, Air was a good film. Air was a very good film. It reminded me of the Founder.
Oh yeah,
With
I like
Mike-
the Founder. I think it's really rewatchable. I watch it over and over again.
Yeah, in as much as it reminded me, in as much as I don't really care about how Nike signed Mike Jordan. I don't care how McDonald's came to be.
Yeah,
but the two films just are really good until it's like, wow, I didn't know that I needed to know that story.
Do you like The Social Network? Because I think it's sort of like in that type of vein.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like The Social Network. Yeah.
So, Luke, I'm assuming you've not seen Air.
No.
It's worth checking.
Okay.
Rebel Moon was another disappointment. Yes.
I actually enjoyed that one.
Sorry,
I actually enjoyed Rebel Moon.
you've seen
Rebel Moon, I enjoyed it.
you enjoy it. Okay. I fell asleep. So,
you are an old man.
Yeah, I am. I mean, look at the grey coming through. I can't really say that it was. I fell asleep. As I saw the beginning. I saw the end. What happened with the road? So you're saying that the robot that was voiced by Anthony Hopkins, it was Anthony Hopkins, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because I know that at the end he wasn't present in the action. He wasn't present in the action, and then the robot. I know there's an end credit scene where I don't know, he's wearing some sort of crown, some sort of thorny wood. I don't know. It looks like he's wearing antlers or something.
I can't even remember, and I watched it from start to finish.
So what's that about? What happened with the robot? Nothing.
The robot was a conscientious objector at the start. I think he then decides to fight.
Right.
Yeah, he was part of like the old monarchy, weren't it? And basically, he was he was a slave for like the bad guys, and basically forced to do labor. And then when the main lady turns, he kind of follows her path. So it's all about character development. And this film, even though it's based off Star Wars, is actually loosely based off Seven Samurai. If anybody's ever seen that movie. Mm-hmm. So I assume the robot may come back in part 2 and he will be one of them. But it was really poor character development, because if you've seen Seven Samurai, it's like a 1950s Japanese movie where all these Ronin are basically destroying the countryside, this poor village. They get all their rice and they look for 7 samurai, for 7 warriors. And that's literally what he does here. But they're so lackluster. I don't know if anybody else thought it, but I mean, there's a cybernetic woman fighting a spider, and I was like, this is so boring. Like, and they get this like general and stuff, and I was like, there's nothing special about them. It's like just getting a bloke off the street and going, come fight with me. And that
just reminded me of what you're saying there, Chris, of how bad the guy's accent is, the Irish guy. What was his name?
Charlie Hannon alone.
My wife likes Charlie Hannon, so I have to leave him alone. But his accent in that, I was honestly cringing at the accent that he does in that when he's playing the good guy, but he turns evil, doesn't he? I honestly was like this when I was watching these scenes. I was like, please stop doing that voice. Please stop it.
The Gora.
Why would he need that accent if they're like,
Well, he's
Is
supposed to
it,
be like a foreign
is
alien.
it me, or is it an Irish tinker sort of accent that he's trying to do? And it's just awful.
See,
I'm sorry.
Where the film initially fails for me, in what I saw, is in the aesthetics. In that, when I think of Star Wars, everything in it, every aspect feels otherworldly. As in, it doesn't feel of Earth. In their clothing, in their in the sets, in everything you see, even the stuff that was filmed in Star Wars in Tunisia. It's a real place, but to us here in sort of like the Western world, looking at that at the time, because the world was a much larger place then, it felt alien. It felt like an alien environment and alien architecture and all this sort of a thing. But I'll tell you what Rebel Moon reminded me of Andor.
Yeah.
In the sense that in that I could see human elements, human clothing of Earth, architecture of Earth, and this sort of a thing. And that's what I got from Rebel Moon. So I find it really difficult to believe that I'm watching something that's happening out there in the vastness of space. And that's biggest hurdle for me to get into it.
I have to go, so I'll see
I'm just
have a good one.
Gareth, thanks for popping in. On screen.
I'm just seeing Blue Roy's comment, and he's put, James, you're Kevin Costner's biggest fan. You can't slay anyone for dodgy accents. I know he didn't do an English accent in Prince of Freeze, but that didn't distract for the movie. This one just made me like cringe. The one in Rebel Moon, it just put me off watching the whole film, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. So yeah, so everyone, that's Gareth. Obviously, Video Taste he's gone now. Thank God for that.
We can talk about it now.
Yeah. But no, I am on with Gareth on the 31st to do a Spawn, a watch and talk about the movie Spawn, which is a film that I don't mind. But anyway, that's years ago. So
has anyone watched Silent Night?
Yes.
I enjoyed that. I thought it was good, but I think it was far-fetched and no one was talking it though.
Yeah, I it's a John Woo film, isn't it?
Yeah.
Again, my issue with it is that it is all silent. I ain't got the issue with the main character unable to speak because of what happened to him. Fine, fair enough. But when you stop everyone else around him from speaking, it detracts me again from the movie because it's so unrealistic. And that other film done it, the one with the alien abductions.
Yeah, I was going to just say, what was that called? That started off quite well, and actually, it had sort of elements of Signs to it because she was trapped. It was like a home invasion movie, wasn't it? It started, but then the ending just went off. I don't know where it went.
Yeah.
Just what am I watching here?
Yeah, it's the same. It's
very,
the same.
very strange.
They've gone silent, but they make, you've got a main character for whatever reason doesn't speak. In that alien abduction film, it was, I think, because of a traumatic experience that occurred to her. So she doesn't speak. Fair enough. And in Silent Night, Joel Kinnaman, who I actually quite like as an actor now, he couldn't speak for reasons. But then when you've got no one speaking around them,
no one to save you. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah, when you've got no one around them speaking, it makes it just. It's not real. It takes away that sense of reality, and I might have liked it had other people been speaking. But you enjoyed that one, Luke, yeah?
I enjoyed it. I just didn't like it when there wasn't speaking, but it was okay. I enjoyed the action in it.
So Noah mentions the films as well. Airs, obviously, we talked about Renfield, Knock at the Cabin, Mission Impossible, Fast X, or Mario.
I watched the Mission Impossible one at cinema, Dead Reckoning, and I thought that was actually pretty good.
Yeah,
overall. Out of all the Mission Impossibles, Fallout's my favourite Mission Impossible film, but this isn't too far behind.
No.
It's just that it knew it was going to be in 2 parts, and it sort of ended halfway through. So you're just like, yeah. But the stunt he does where he jumps off the motorbike with a cliff, he does all his own stunts. You can't really argue with that. It was a very solid movie. Dead reckoning.
I think it would have a bigger impact though if they'd have not shown that stunt beforehand, and it was like the audience would have been like, "Wow, this is really good. Let's go and see it." That would have been far better for the film rather than showing it. I mean, we saw it, didn't we, at the BFI before we watched
the
Indiana
IMAX.
Jones. I mean, it was amazing on there, but you kind of know that's going to be in the film, and it kind of takes the excitement out of it. So
it does, yeah. They shouldn't have marketed. They've marketed the film around that one stunt, which is the highlight or the highlight stunt of the film, and everyone's seen it before the film, before it comes out. Because that film
quite a relevant topic as well.
Sorry,
it's quite a relevant topic. AI taking over the world.
Yeah. Because that film was deemed a flop this year.
I thought it was very good.
It was very good. It was very good. And the film, I can't remember. I think it took about 600 million, something in that region. I want to say, or 570. I can't remember. But it's a respectable amount of money. It took a respectable amount of money. People went to see it. But because of the elevated budget and the advertising costs, it came in at £100 million loss.
Well, the other thing was that did they not try and get Oppenheimer to move the release date or Barbie to move the release date because they wanted it in IMAX, and that sort of affected their ones as the box office as well on it.
Yeah,
I don't know actually. I'm not sure.
Oppenheimer and Barbie were out at the same time, so the IMAX screens were taken up with them, so it did affect it. Speaking of Oppenheimer, I have tried to watch it. I fell asleep. I like to give films another chance, and I will do, but I'll need to be wide awake, like watch it in the morning or something like that. But from what I've seen, everybody's saying it's a masterpiece, but for me, I don't like it.
No, that's fair enough. Who's seen Oppenheimer here? Everyone or not?
No, not seen it.
No.
Okay. Chris, what was your opinion of Oppenheimer?
I really liked it. I was saying it was the way it was shot. Obviously, it's Christopher Nolan's style. It was very interesting that you get to. It kind of takes you on this journey, and then you kind of get to the whole bomb thing, and you think, "Oh, that's it, we're done." And then no, there's like another half an hour, and you get to see kind of. It kind of reminds me of the film Sully. If anybody's seen that, like they build up the first bit to this heroic act, and then you realise there's all this shit that, pardon my French, this comes afterwards and that. And I really like that, but I think what I said in my reviews and stuff, it's such quite a dark film, when they create the atom bomb and there's Cillian Murphy goes over all this stuff, like he's basically when they drop it on Hiroshima and kill all these people, that's down to him. And it's not really an upbeat movie that you could watch again and again and again. It's very much you watch it once and then maybe
history lesson, isn't it?
Yeah, and then it'll be a long time, I think, before I watch it again. I'll buy it and watch it because it is a good movie. But yeah, it's not something I'd, oh, I'm having a good time. Let's watch
Schindler's List.
I've got it because I got it in a sort of Amazon glitch where they put the Blu-ray up. They put the 4K up for £15, and then they later changed the listing to the Blu-ray. And they tried to send me the Blu-ray, and I said no. And I to be honest with you, I love arguing with Amazon. So I argued with them and got the 4K for £15. I don't go on deliberately to catch them out or anything. But if they put something up for sale for £15 and then they try and sneakily change it in the background, then I'm going to call them out on it.
Yeah, no, that's damn right. Absolutely. But for me, I agree with Chris. Oppenheimer. I agree with I agree with both of you on Oppenheimer. On the one hand, it's a great film. I think it's a great film. Technically speaking, it's a fantastic film. Everything is there in place. I can't fault that, and I enjoyed watching it. But but I can understand that you couldn't get through it, James, completely. And it's not a film that I would, even though I've got it in the collection, it's going to be some time before I rewatch it, because it ain't got that factor to it. It's
Do you watch
interesting.
the Movie Collector on
Sorry?
YouTube? Do you watch
Do
the gentleman called the Movie Collector on YouTube?
Yeah, go on.
Because
John Clancy.
yeah, he's got a video of them showing this, filming the IMAX reel and showing the IMAX camera showing Oppenheimer. I found that video more interesting than the movie.
Fair enough.
Unfortunately.
George Condy says best, Sisu. Mission Impossible, Strays I didn't like. Worst, Expendables 4, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Oh, has no one seen that?
No.
That's just not a movie I'd watch, to be honest.
You have seen it, Luke.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think?
Bad.
Yeah, it wasn't a good film. It was. I think I had that listed as my worst film of the year. As in, it was number 2. Indiana Jones was number 1, but that was most disappointing film of the year. You know what I mean? But worst film would definitely Winnie the Pooh was horrendous. Expendables 4.
I must be out of sequence here, AJ, but I liked Indiana Jones. I didn't think it was terrible, and I then read some reviews after I'd watched it, and then I could see people's points on why it was a bad film. But I watched it all the way through. I thought it was entertaining, but the Billy Waller-Bridges character, they said, I read a review that said she's really annoying in this, and then I thought about it after I watched it, and I thought maybe she is. Maybe I should watch this again and see really how annoying she is. But I don't want to do that because I enjoyed it.
I mean, Chris and Matt can attest to this. When we saw it that's film we went to see at the IMAX in Waterloo, the big one, and I did fall asleep during it. But that's just me. You put me into a darkened room. Seriously, switch the light. I'm at that age now. It doesn't matter what I'm watching. Switch the lights out, and I'm like, I'll be off. I'll be off. I enjoy sleep. I enjoy snooze and doze.
I didn't think it was as bad as people made out.
No, there was elements of the film that I enjoyed. I liked the sort of World War II setting at the start. The thing that didn't work was that obviously they de-aged Harrison Ford, which was, that was a nice touch, but you could tell his voice as an older Harrison Ford. So that didn't work. You could tell that. There were elements to it that I didn't mind. For me, it was just the ending just seemed to go off on that crazy, time travel thing.
I didn't like that either.
I think he should have let him stay where he was instead of forcing him back. He wanted to stay there.
It just took it to a ridiculous place. Like both AJ and myself, we did sort of how we thought the film should have ended, and I think certainly what you suggested made more sense, more akin to the Last Crusade.
Well, thematically, Indiana Jones films have always ended a certain way, and this film then went and changed that. At the end of Raiders, you've got the Ark of the Covenant that when man opened it and they looked in, it killed them because it wasn't meant to be seen. It isn't for human eyes. The Shankara stones in Temple of Doom were abused, and thusly that's why they, set on fire in the rucksack and burnt the bad geezer's hand and that sort of thing to make him fall in. In Last Crusade, the immortality isn't meant for human.
Yeah.
They're meant for humans, hence why you have to stay within that seal with the cup to have immortality. Once you step beyond that, you can't, it's gone. Even Crystal Skull, the knowledge possessed by the beings, into whatever you want to call them, beings, was too much to handle. And this film should have thematically had the same kind of an ending where,
Yeah.
okay, time travel's a possibility and it exists, but not for man to step into.
Yeah.
And that's the reason, and that's what they find out. The minute he stepped through and went into the past, it just, I know people say, okay, well, you had these alien things in the last one, so time travel isn't that. It isn't so much that, it's more the thematics of it. It should never have been able to time travel. It should never have gone that far in the film.
And it surprises me that I think if Spielberg had directed it, we would have had a different ending. And I don't understand why, with such a longevity and such a, that character has followed us through many, many years, why he didn't finish it off, why he let it go off to somebody else to direct, because they took it in a completely different direction.
I think Spielberg's a big component that was missing from that film.
Absolutely, yeah.
James Mangold is a decent director, but tonally and pacing wise, he's different than Spielberg, and that notices in this Indiana Jones film for me. Just Luke, go on. What's your thoughts on Indiana Jones? I know you saw that one.
It was okay, but I agree with Matt. I don't think they should have gone with the time travel bit at the end. And to me, I don't think they should have made a fifth one. I think they should just left that up fourth, because I knew this one wouldn't be that good. I think they just
I agree. It was complete. They should never have made it. For me, it's not even one I picked up.
No.
In the collection.
No, I haven't. Not yet.
And I've not missed
I might do, but
no, I've not. I've tried watching it again. I tried for third. Yeah, I watched it the first time. Second time was IMAX. That was when I fell asleep. Third time, I watched the opening 20 minutes, and once you got to the bit in the apartment where he's old, moaning about the noise, I cut off. I switched it off and said, I can't watch this.
Yeah.
But there we go. Noah just gave us a bit of trivia. They originally went to Lucasfilm for Rebel Moon, but they turned it down. So that would have been Disney, really. So it went to Netflix. George ain't seen Rebel Moon. Sorry?
Something I heard today which really surprised me. Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom cost $200 million to make. All right. So far, after 5 weeks, it's made worldwide just under $400,000. Right. So it's a dud. How much do you think they spent on marketing for that film in dollars?
180
million.
I'm going to say less than that, because to be honest with you, I don't think they wanted it promoted.
Anyone else?
Because of the Amber Heard thing.
What? Yeah, but she was still left in it, wasn't she? Amber Heard. I get why you're trying to not promote it because of all the backlash, right? But I think it's just like the tsunami of shit that had come from all the previous movies flopping from The Flash. That not a lot of people were going to go see it anyway. I mean, looking it up now, it says it's actually done almost double its budget. So,
yeah. Well, AJ's the closest. 200 million in marketing. 200 million to market the film is just madness.
Well, I'm not seeing it yet, but that should have gone into the budget, surely, and made it better.
Yeah. Well, apparently, as of tomorrow, it drops digitally. 5 weeks later.
Huh? It drops digitally tomorrow?
Yep. In America.
I'll be watching that this weekend then.
Yeah. That's crazy, isn't it? Absolutely crazy.
I liked the first Aquaman movie. I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was all right. Again, I went to see that in the cinema, and it was pretty good. I was going to say, I actually went and seen the Marvels in the cinema as well. But that's because my son wanted to watch Five Nights at Freddy's, but he wasn't 15 and they wouldn't let him in for that, so I went to go see something else.
What do you think of the Marvels then?
The Marvels actually shut down 5 minutes to go. The camera broke.
Oh.
in the cinema, so they gave us 4 free cinema tickets.
They go back to watch it.
Shut off and they couldn't get back on.
Was it any? Did you like it?
You know, it was a. I've never seen the other TV shows that that was on. So you know, like the other 2 people that were in it.
Miss Marvel, yeah.
My son enjoyed it. You know, it was maybe more angled for his age than our age, but he enjoyed the cats. He said the best bit was the cats. They ate all the people. I don't know if you've seen that bit, or is it dogs? I can't even remember. It's cats.
Yeah, it's a cat.
Yeah.
Cats, yeah.
He enjoyed that bit, so he had a good time. I just thought, well, again, it's another formulaic, generic superhero movie, unfortunately. But yeah, you know, it was an hour and a half. I was actually glad when it went off. To be
Me, yeah.
so, but there was some funny bits. I thought the cats were funny. I just thought there's an enemy. There's always an enemy who's trying to do something bad, but that's superhero movies as they go, that they have to stop. But I think I'm just superheroed out at the moment. With all
yeah, I think a lot of people are.
Yeah.
I am. I certainly am. Even though I'm still, I love the genre because I read. Everyone knows I've read comic books for 35 years. So getting all these films was fantastic, and I would have thought that I'd have been the last person to say, you know, yeah, there's too much of it. It's tiring.
Although I have to say, the most surprising film for me, which I went in with low expectations because of the comic book fatigue, was Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I thought it was really good. And actually
awesome.
Quite emotional.
Well,
I actually teared up at one point. It actually, yeah, you know, because you've gone through that, you know the characters, but the story of Rocket was great. I really loved that. I thought it was brilliant.
So I thought you was gonna say Blue Beetle then.
The thing with that is I haven't watched Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And that's because I'm fed up with superhero movies.
But I think you'll enjoy that one because it is good. It is really, out of all of the Marvel films of late, exception of, I liked Multiverse of Madness. I enjoyed that one, but
yeah, that was
Doctor Strange,
I really enjoyed that. I thought it was a really, really good film. A good send-off to the characters.
Yeah, Luke agrees with, don't you, on Guardians?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So what about Blue Beetle, Luke? Did you see that?
I saw Blue Beetle. It wasn't how I wanted it to be. I thought it would be better than how DC made it, but it wasn't too bad. I think the Flash was better than Blue Beetle, though.
Yeah, the Flash was good. Flash, but I know that 2 people here at least like Blue Beetle.
Yeah. I enjoyed it the same as I did with Black Adam. They were just, you've seen it all before. Blue Beetle, very much like Iron Man. Black Adam as well. You saw a lot of characters that you've seen in the Marvel films. But they were just fun, you know, and I didn't mind them. Yeah, they're not great films, but they're you know, I like the family dynamic in Blue Beetle. I like the characters in it. I thought I laughed out a couple of times in both Black Adam and in Blue Beetle. Yeah, I thought they were okay. Quite, you know, fun films, but, you know, leave your brain at the door. That's it.
I actually forgot. Was Black Adam this year?
Beginning of this year, yeah.
I actually seen that in the cinema with my son as well, and I just wanted that to end.
I didn't mind it. I thought it was fun.
I got to the bit where they encased them, and then I thought, great, this is the end of the movie. And then it just went on for another hour. And I don't know what, I honestly just wanted to sink in my seat and hide. I say I don't like superhero, but I might see Black Adam, I might see the Marvels, but I really wanted that Black Adam at the end, and then at the end credits they've got Henry Cavill coming back as Superman, and now it's not happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's. Hold on one sec. My battery's dying. Hopefully this won't go. I've got it plugged in. Hopefully it won't go off. But anyway, so I was going to say that a lot of my top 10 films were smaller movies.
I've
Things
seen that
like
on your stream. Yep.
The Covenant, Guy Ritchie's The Covenant.
I watched that. Yep.
Operation Fortune was in my top 10. Sisu was. The Tom Hanks one, Man Called Otto.
Yeah.
That's a great film, A Man Called Otto.
Harold Fry was in my top 10. So that brings me to the next comment, which is quite a good comment after this year's lackluster movies. Which film franchises do you think should end? Larry suggests Fast and Furious,
Transformers.
Expendables. So what franchise do you think it's time to hang up? So James, you say Transformers, yeah?
Yeah, for a while. The one before the one we just watched, Rise of the Beasts. The last night, was that not about 4 hours long, or it felt like it was 4 hours long?
That wasn't a great film.
And I honestly could not get through that. Could not get through that one. It was just so long and so fight after fight after fight after meaningless fight. It just
it gets a bit So what about yourself, Luke? Any ideas on a franchise that you think should die? You think's tired and it's gone on too long?
Yeah, I agree with James. I think Transformers.
Matt, Chris?
I will say, I mean, I did love John Wick 4. Right. But I think there's a danger now that if they do another one, that it then starts becoming very, very generic. I think if when Ballerina's coming out this year, I think, with Anna de Armas, I think that's a good way to go. I think John Wick's coming into. I think Keanu Reeves is coming into it. I think possibly if they could do a prequel or something, but I don't think they need to continue the story on. I think it's a good ending to it. Yes, okay, they can still do stuff within John Wick world, a prequel or a sideline or something. I don't know, because I think Ballerina's set between John Wick 2 and John Wick 3, if I believe.
There's a TV show, isn't there? The Continental.
The Continental, yeah. However, that's very tonally different to the films. But I think there's a point that you've got to be careful that you're not going into, like you say, the Fast and Furious, just, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I mean, I haven't even invested any time in Fast and Furious, to be honest. I think I caught number 3, which is supposed to be the worst one.
I like that.
Tokyo
Drift.
Yeah.
I think that's the last one I've seen as well, up to 3.
AJ reckons they get better when The Rock comes into it, and they get more ridiculous.
I prefer the. I wasn't a fan of the Fast and Furious, the first early films. They muscle cars, street racing.
Yeah,
it's not interested in it at all, really. But when the films became ludicrous and stupid, I was sort of on board with them, and they were sort of vehicular. And with the cast that they got and the different famous actors that they kept getting into the movies, it kind of like gave me the promise. It fulfilled the promise that Expendables didn't. So if you can imagine Expendables as vehicular mayhem, with all these famous faces coming in, it gave me that when Expendables didn't. if that makes sense. And there was I like the stupid nonsense because it's just they're so ridiculous, and they have their they've got their own laws of physics in these films that just mind numbing stupid. The stuff when they go into space with a car, I know people relate it. It didn't bother me at all. It was just so silly that it just that's how silly this franchise is, and I didn't mind it, and people said that came about because people said, oh, they're going to go in, what are you going to do next, go into space, and they did, and it was just so stupid that they done that, but I didn't mind it. But the last film, I think, last couple, I think, they've peaked. They've definitely peaked and are on a decline. But anyway, so Chris, what about yourself? What's the franchise you reckon should?
So he did my answer for John Wick because I think he killed everybody in 4. There's no one left alive unless we wait like 20 years for them to have kids that grow up. I think the only other one I would have said is Saw. I think Saw 10 was so good that they should have just leave the franchise there. But 1 and 10 were great movies. What a way to end the franchise. But they're making 11, so it's wait another 10.
Yeah, I think saw a couple of comments down. I'm just looking. Ian says Ian Hilda Ramblings is one of his most surprising films of the year was Saw X, and I can't. It was. I went into it expecting a Saw film, and what I got was a film that was a complete character study. Yeah. Especially the first half or 3/4 of the film was a character study of this person, and I thought, wow, this is, it's giving me character. It's giving me it's not just about these kills. This is actually giving us the story of this character, which is
refreshing.
Yeah, and you come to, you kind of understand him.
Yeah,
I'd have to watch I'd have to watch from 2 to 9 before I can see that one.
Yeah, you don't, because it's set between. Is it?
I've only seen the first one.
1 and 2 is set between.
Never seen any of them.
Yeah, so this one comes after the first one, so you could
watch it. Yeah.
Oh, Luke jumped out and jumped back in. I don't know what happened then.
There was 2 more films in 2023 that I've watched that I don't know what your opinion is. Has anyone seen Dream Scenario with Nicolas Cage?
Dream Scenario? No.
Not even heard of it.
No.
It was apparently in the cinema. Basically, he's an ordinary professor who starts appearing in people's dreams.
Yeah. It was only like a week or something. Yeah, I saw the trailer for that, and it did actually look quite interesting. He's got like a bald head, hasn't he? And he's like yeah. And he pops into one person's dream, and then he pops into like all his students' dream, and everyone's dreaming about him, which seems really ridiculous. But
I liked it till the end, but watch it and see what your thoughts are. The other movie 2023 that I thought was horrendous. My wife liked it, didn't you? Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, wasn't it?
See, Chris Pine. I thought you did see it.
I started watching it, and I was too tired.
So I don't know if you've seen that one either. Dungeons and Dragons with Chris Pine.
Yeah, Hugh Grant.
I
enjoyed it.
What do you think of Wonka? Chris, you went to see that, didn't you? Wonka. What did you think of that?
I actually really liked it. So it's from the same company who did Paddington. So if you've watched Paddington 1 or 2, that's the same sort of place. It's got quite a few cast members, but I actually quite enjoy it. But like, I went with my wife, and I said the one thing you have to kind of get away, don't compare it to the previous ones, because she was like, "It's no Gene Wilder." The bloke's Gene Wilder would have done it this way. I don't know. I said, yeah, but this is a completely new, different story. And obviously, it's very interesting because obviously, I think the book is based. The first book that is Ronald Dahl, I think, that wrote it, is obviously The Glass Elevator, and it doesn't even cover any of those elements. This is all kind of new story. But it was, I thought it was really, really good. It was funny. It had like some singy dance moments. The actors were all relatable and stuff to it, and it was good character driven. So good family movie.
My son
Anyone
seen
else
it. He
watched it?
enjoyed it, but he didn't. He didn't take his dad this time. He's too old for that now.
Did you watch it, AJ?
I didn't. I didn't see that. I didn't see Wonka. No, I'm of the. I can't get past Gene Wilder.
No.
As Willy
Gene
Wonka.
Wilder.
That's the problem. I've I don't want to see anyone else. Johnny Depp one, it was so, and I just, if I'm going to watch a Wonka film, I'll go back and watch Gene Wilder.
Definitely, I agree with you, AJ.
Might be worth it to see Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa.
See,
Yeah, that to me, yeah.
That's
Still
the one
prefer the
of the
Oompa Loompas from the original.
I started watching Dungeons and Dragons with obviously Hugh Grant's in that, but I think I started watching it a couple of days after I saw Operation Fortune, and Hugh Grant's in that as well, and he gives a fantastic performance under the direction of Guy Ritchie, much akin to what he did in The Gentleman. And then I put on Dungeons and Dragons, and I felt embarrassed for him for what with what I was watching.
Yeah, the characters that he's getting now are very different because I mean, obviously back in the day he was always in the rom-coms, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But
I wanted it to be more like I wanted it to be more like the cartoon.
Oh yeah, the 80s. Yeah, it's a Dungeons and Dragons, right? Yeah. Which they showed up for like 2 seconds, or was it like 10 seconds?
Yeah, I've seen that in the maze. Yep, and but I wanted it to be more like that. But
it all bases from the game, ain't it? So obviously, there is a board game called Dungeons and Dragons, and this was initially done in like the late 70s, 80s, and then they did a cartoon from it with specific characters, and then obviously they've taken the game and made a movie of it now, but obviously reference the old cartoon because obviously it gets people to come and see it. So to explain that,
I've got the full DVD box set of that Dungeons and Dragons. I thought it was a great show.
Yeah, needed a good ending. I don't think it ever got a proper ending. They never got home. Sorry, we tangents is there.
No, it's fine. No, did everyone? I know. Sorry, I forgot your name.
James, Luke.
Hi,
Chris, James.
James. Yeah,
Luke,
sorry.
Chris.
Totally.
Put down a bit.
I've totally lost my train of thought now. What was I going to say? Oh, Plane. That was it. You said you'd seen Plane. Has anyone else seen Plane?
Yes, I really enjoyed Plane.
Yeah, I thought it was really good.
I didn't expect to, but it was actually really good. You do have to turn your mind off a bit, action. But I thought it was really good.
Felt like a 90s film, didn't it? A 90s action film.
Hero, yeah.
A convict and a pilot have to save the plane.
Didn't you say there's a follow-up coming, AJ, to Plane?
There was talk of a sequel, but it followed the Mike Coulter character.
Yeah.
Not Gerard Butler. I don't know if that. Yeah, I don't know if there's. I ain't heard no more ramblings on that.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll see. So Blue Roy says Creed should end. Sly wasn't involved. What if Sly comes back to it?
I'm just running the coach.
Would you be okay then?
I just found the third film just very generic. And another film that I found very generic was Exorcist the Believer. To me, that was just another run-of-the-mill possession film. Okay, it had Ellen Burstyn in. Obviously, you had the cameo with Linda Blair. But take those two out of it, and it could have just been any possession film, hundreds of them that you've seen time and time again. And yeah, I just thought that was quite disappointing.
I haven't seen that one yet, but I've seen The Pope's Exorcist. I thought that was all right.
Yeah, that was all right. I enjoyed that. And The Nun 2 as well. That was good.
Luke didn't like Nun 2. Did you, Luke?
No, I hated it.
Didn't like it?
No.
Why didn't you like it?
It was just the same as number one. I didn't like number one either.
No, fair enough.
Yeah,
I seen the first Nun in the cinema, and we had a bad experience. Me and my wife had a bad experience watching the Nun in the cinema, and so that sort of taints my view.
I
Of
actually
it.
think the second film is a better film than the first one, in my opinion.
There was three people sitting talking through the entire film, and I couldn't be quiet, and I told them to. And they just continued talking through the entire film, and it just really bugged. Really, I was like three teenage lasses, and they're having a good time, but couldn't even hear the film for them, and it just so
Annoying.
hate that.
Don't you
I
just?
highly recommend it. The second one is good. I enjoyed it anyway.
Well, actually, I can't even remember the first one because what I was always doing is dealing with that throughout the film, and it just ruined it for me.
Well, that's a shame.
So let me just say hello to Roger. Hiya, Roger. How you doing, mate? Roger's got several Facebook groups that I'm in, different film related, and on occasion I talk with Roger on Facebook, and he watches the channel. I know he's aware of your channel, Matt.
I think he commented a few times.
I'm sure he'll pick them up as he as he sees us. Sorry.
Could I just mention that I've got the Facebook group, the Movie Mad one, as well, but it's not for chatting about movies. It really is only for movie bargains. So if someone spots a movie bargain somewhere, they put it up there so they can find. So basically, there's the odd occasional post, but it's just for movie. So it's Movie Mad on Facebook, and I've got this Amazon affiliate thing. If you post the link, you get a couple of pennies from it, and I've made a massive £25 this year gift card from. But what I'm going to do with that gift card is I'm just going to give it away to people in the group because they were the ones that clicked on the links and shall we say purchased the movies to get that. So if you do want to get any bargains, you can join that one. That's all we do is post bargains when we happen to spot them.
There we go. So you heard it here. James is plugging his channel. Is YouTube.
It's just my Facebook page. It's only a private one. Yeah.
Fair enough. Good. So so Rod says, "Good evening, gentlemen. Not enough time spent on the stories and less money put into the movies. Film companies trying to save money.
100%.
Save money, trying to make money.
Or good movie. You'll make money if you make good movies.
Yeah.
But on that IMDb page I was looking at, I just realised that somebody that's made this 100 movie releases, and what they've wrote at the top of the movie for 2023, it says, "A year of reckoning for generic blockbusters. 2023's under par, disappointing, wider releases. Hopefully spring changes that." So it's not just me that thinks that 2023 wasn't great. And the number one on that is Killers of the Flower Moon. Again, a movie I couldn't get through.
I didn't even try it.
Is that
Leonardo
DiCaprio? It's
an hour and 20 minutes I watched of it, and I thought, what is this about? And I put the status on, it still said there was an hour and 30 minutes to go, and I thought, I can't watch this for another hour and 30 minutes. I just can't.
Is it a Scorsese film?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is, yeah. And it's got a 7.7, but I just 120 minutes, an hour and 20 minutes, and I still didn't know what the film was about.
Yeah, it's not
apparently Napoleon's supposed to be quite a hard watch as well, isn't it? You went to see that, Chris, didn't you?
Yeah, I like Napoleon. Again, it was probably a bit like Oppenheimer. It was a good watch once, but I don't know if you want to get. I mean, I think the interesting bit I watched it was good for how his mind worked in the battles and stuff, because it was very much a film of two parts. Of you had his life and his wife and all the issues he had with them and trying to father a child, and then you had his war bits. So you kind of got This is a battle. This is he won it. A little bit of trouble with his wife. This is another battle. This is he won it. And it was a good breaking up, and it was very interesting how clever he was throughout all of it and all the stuff that went on. Obviously, was a bit of a troubled person from what the movie depicts, but I thought it was interesting enough, a good mix.
I've seen the story in Sharp.
Yeah. So I'll just let you know, no, it's all right. I'm keeping an eye on my battery percentage on my tablet 'cause it's at 4%, even though it's. So what I've done is I've linked myself to my other phone, and I'm sat in the, in the green room, my other phone. If this gets particularly low, I'm gonna bring myself in on another video.
Your doppelganger.
Yeah, then I might lose this one. At which point, I think we can carry on, but I won't have control over any of the comments or anything like that. So just be aware. We'll see what. It's my fault. I didn't charge this when I came home, and I had to use this today, and I was in 5 hours of meetings today at work on Teams meetings, and so the battery on this just went down. But Adam Davey says, Luke, do you have any more Blu-ray hunting videos coming
in February? Because I'm busy at the moment with college, so I'm not doing that many Blu-ray hunts yet.
Fair enough. But they're coming back, Adam.
My CX has got 2 4Ks in it at the moment. 2.
Only 2?
2 4Ks in the entire CEX, yep. And they're not even good ones.
Can you see in the next couple of years, maybe even in this year, CEX pretty much getting rid of DVDs because I don't think they're selling them? What do you reckon?
I went to one of the there's 3 CEXs in my town. There was one at Cameron Toll, and they didn't even have them on the shelves. They had piles of them beside the counter, 5 and 6 like this, this high. But it's like videos. You used to when videos and DVDs first came out, you went into the charity shop, and the charity shop wasn't even taking videos anymore. They're not even, a lot of them aren't taking DVDs. But what will happen? In 4 or 5 years, people will think, well, want to get DVDs back, and then they'll start, bringing them back. Because hundreds of thousands of DVDs will get chucked out, and then they'll start to become rare. I actually put a DVD on the other night, and I've got a 4K player, but I've got some boxes with all my DVDs in it. You might see them behind me, the silver ones. That's all my DVDs in there. And sometimes I go through them and I just take one out and put it in the player. And actually put a DVD in the other night there and just left it for a few days, and then I played it, and it was The Man That Shot Liberty Valance. Yeah, and I've never seen that before. And the DVD was very watchable in terms of quality. It was still you could easily watch it on there, and I thought, so I think you're right. They'll disappear for a few years, and then what will happen is people will start. But there's a lot of Blu-rays going out of print at the moment. A lot of Blu-rays, a lot of early 2000 Blu-rays going out of print.
Yeah. Excelsior's Domain says, my son made me go see Meg 2.
Not seen it yet.
No, I've not seen it, but you said it's okay, didn't you?
I've seen it.
I enjoyed it. No, I had fun with it, but I acknowledge that it's an abysmal movie.
Yeah.
It's one of those ones, Matt, that I love to hate. As in, I can watch it. I'm not bored while I'm watching it, but I'm going to criticize the hell out of it, and it will make me think that I completely hate the film.
Yeah.
It's one of those,
I'm going to go now, okay?
All right, Luke, thank you for coming in. It's nice to have you. Come on again. We'll get you on again, yeah?
Yeah.
All right,
see you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye. And then there were 4.
Whoa, just 4 of us.
We'll get Luke on again at some point. I said Luke was a late addition. He messaged me saying, "Can he join?" I said, "Yeah, of course he can." So yeah,
I don't do many live streams, AJ, because I always worry what I'm going to say.
don't worry about that. I should be the one worrying about what I'm going to say. People usually set me up for being called a bigot or something, but this one's going all right at the moment. But there we go. When I get started, I don't stop. People just
don't get him started on Doctor Who.
Don't get me started on Doctor Who.
All night.
No, I got a lot of hate. Oh, well, no. I got a varied. I got 50-50. I agree with you. Yeah, you're a bigot, racist, homophobic, whatever term could be thrown at me was thrown at me. That's fine. Hey, don't bother me. Anyway, so that red robo is giving me grandstand convertos vibes.
My robot whisper. I'll take him away.
What's grandstand convertos, Chris?
I don't know.
I think what they mean is, so Transformers did a like converter line where they did like modern day cars like a Subaru and that, but transformed into a robot. So they basically could, and I think that's what he's trying to kind of reference. That obviously it's a modern day truck that just transforms rather than a actual transformer from the cartoons and stuff.
Okay. So Blue Roy says Saltburn was very Marmite. I enjoyed it. Some interesting things.
It's on Amazon Prime. It's the guy who played the Joker in 2 Seconds of the Batman.
The Batman.
Yeah, the Batman. So he's basically a student that goes to this posh school, and this posh family let him in for the vacation period, and all weird stuff happens. From what I can get, I haven't seen it yet.
I turned it off. I'm AJ. I'm like you. See if I try and watch a movie late at night, I just unfortunately. So I need to be wide awake. But I just turned that one up. I don't know if it's I'm at that stage where if I don't like a movie, I just don't watch to the end.
Yeah, I'm like that now. I'll turn off easy. So Noah says, "I'm Just Ken" was the best song of 2023. That's from Barbie.
So yeah,
I did skip Adam's message because he's written it again. What do I think of the movie The Great Escape of Michael Caine? I've not watched it yet.
I've never seen it either.
No, The Great
is that the one where he's the World War II veteran?
Yes, yeah. And he goes on a sort of so kind of very reminiscent.
Yeah. He escapes from the German.
Yeah, I want to see it. I ain't got round to it. It is on the list, but I'm sure. Yeah, it would. Well, Michael Caine's always good. This is at 2%. This is at 2%. So hold on one
I think
second.
that's probably maybe going to be his last film, isn't it? Hasn't he retired now?
Yeah, I think he has. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's very old now, bless him.
Hold on.
Oh,
That's not good. Right there.
Is that AJ too?
We had doppelgangers. They really are two aliens.
We're just going to ask if anybody had seen the Hunger Games prequel.
Yeah, a songbird of a song of
The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I haven't seen it yet, but apparently it's quite good.
Must have watched a different version.
Films I've really got into though.
You didn't like it, Chris?
No, I mean I like the original ones. It literally is. I mean, if you've seen the original ones, so the character of Snow, it's basically his story.
The president.
But it is so done not very well. It's kind of like someone going, right, we're going to do a Star Wars movie. It's the story of Palpatine. And people are like, meh, he's a chancellor. He becomes it. It's just like, it's not really that dynamic of a character in it. They tie it into the Hunger Games, but the Hunger Games are really boring and they're like at a low. And then it's just him basically becoming a really bad person. And it just did not appeal at all. But that's my opinion. So
Well, that's okay. It's all right to have an opinion. Actually, I've not seen it yet, but a lot of people said it's good. But maybe I'll give it a miss.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, give it a watch. Who knows? I mean, I'll probably get it to add to the collections and stuff. But yeah, I just didn't think it was. It had potential to reignite the franchise. I think. But
I didn't see the Hunger Games until about a year or two ago, and what I had is I had the 4 Hunger Games movies on my shelf, and I was like, what have I got these for? And then I was actually, like you were doing, AJ, and how going through your collection and getting rid of stuff. I was thinking, do I really need these 4 movies? And I procrastinated, and I thought, I'll tell you what, if I'm going to get rid of them, I should at least watch them first.
Yeah.
And actually, I watched the first 2, and then I was like, this is pretty good. I'm going to keep them. So my procrastinating of keeping movies is a bit more than yours, AJ. You seem to get rid of stuff in that video, or take them out, but I just can't seem to do that as well.
It's difficult. It's certainly difficult. It's more, the difficulty more stems from what to do with it, because I can't throw away.
No.
The same. I have that same kind of logic with books. With anything like that, with something that is essentially someone's work, I can't throw it. I don't. CEX is out of the option because there's nothing. You don't get nothing for it. Charity shop, I know they'll just bin it anyway, so I don't want to do that. Someone did say to me, "What about a library? Donate them to a library," and I quite like that idea.
Well, we've sort of got something like that. I live in flats, and right outside my door, I'm on the ground floor. There's a little shelf outside as you come in the door, and if anybody doesn't want something, you put it on that shelf first. And if it stays there for a couple of days, then great. Then you just take it to the charity shop. And if it doesn't, it disappears and goes. So often when I've got Blu-rays, I put maybe 5 like doublers. I put them out there, and usually 5 or 6 of them disappear. So I do that. But the Polly Pockets thing I was talking to you about is quite handy because you can take them out of the case. You can get 10 of those in the space of one Blu-ray, and if you decide that later on you want to put the movie back in the case, you can just get a case and do that. And I've got one of my shelves around there is like a Billy bookcase, but it's a double stack one. So all the Polly bits are at the back of one shelf, and I think one back of one shelf has got maybe 300 in Polly Pockets.
Oh.
So they're all hidden in the background, and they're there if I choose to go back and watch them. And as you said, I find it difficult to chuck out and put DVDs and Blu-rays in the bin. Actually put them in the bin because you're thinking this is physical media. You don't want to do that, but sometimes you have to. But there's other ways of doing it too.
There are. I don't know. Just to say, I don't know if I've lost some comments here when I was mucking around with the tablet just now. But Noah's off. See you later, Noah. Oh, he's gone now. I don't know what I'm saying because that was like half hour ago. Gods of Science Fiction. Hello. Guardians 3 was good.
Was, yeah. Surprised me.
Is it on Disney Plus now? That.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
I might take your recommendation.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Zach D Production. Hi, Zach. How you doing? Blue Beetle was harmless fun. Guardians 3 was the best Marvel film of the post Endgame era. Yep. I lost interest when Marvel started churning out the series. Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah, it is too much. You couldn't consume.
WandaVision I enjoyed. Hawkeye I enjoyed. But then after that it started to go downhill. Loki, I haven't got through season 2 of that.
David, hello. Blue Beetle reminded me of Saban's Beetleborgs. Yeah. Well, so Chris, would you say that Saban's Beetleborgs is based upon Blue Beetle? Then?
No, so So Saban, basically the company who did Power Rangers, he's Heinz Saban. He did a lot of theme music for the 80s cartoons and stuff. He brought over Power Rangers. Beetleborgs is basically kind of like Kamen Rider, which is another series. So in Japan, you have what's called Sentai, which is essentially Power Rangers, and then you have Kamen Rider, which is a bike kind of franchise. And these two were adapted for the American or Western audiences. Beetleborgs was tried. It did all right. They basically changed a lot of stuff and just used the footage like Power Rangers do. So it's all American actors and actresses, but they kind of made it more for kids. And because it's Beetle themed, I think that's where the kind of comparison has come across there. I don't think, obviously, unless you know the lore from the comics and stuff, then you probably won't know that it's quite different and that Blue Beetles from an alien species that obviously come to Earth and inhabit people and give them powers and
all right.
There's
Cool.
another film that I really enjoyed last year, Ghosted.
Okay, yeah,
with Chris Evans and Anna de Armas. That I enjoyed. Have you seen that, James?
No. I was just going to look it up when you said that because I've never heard of it. I was just
Chris Evans and Anna de Armas. Again, it kind of starts off being one thing and changes into something else. But the chemistry between the two of them is really good.
It's not a Dusk Till Dawn change, is it?
No, not quite. No, I don't want to spoil it for you.
Yeah,
I don't know what it is, but it's a good film. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's kind of the spy and partner, but twisted, really, isn't it? It kind of changes the normal dynamic.
Yeah,
I thought it was quite
but
good.
It's the chemistry between those two. They've definitely got a screen chemistry. And I think they did a Netflix film together, didn't they? Where he was the bad guy, I think, wasn't he?
Oh, that was the
Grey Man, maybe.
Yeah.
Something like
I've
that,
not seen it, but I know of it. Yeah.
But this film, I could see them teaming up again and doing another one. So you get some cameos in this one as well, which I don't know. There was one that felt a bit out of place, wasn't there, at the end, without spoiling it. But
the cameos comes in at the point when the film was originally meant to have Scarlett Johansson in it, not Anna de Armas.
Yeah.
At which point the cameos make far more sense.
Yes.
Than just Chris Evans and her. It's a bit, if you had that Marvel connection in the film between the two characters, then the cameos make perfect sense. But when it's only 50%, you're like, it feels forced at that point.
I think the end cameo was to pay that actor back for Chris Evans doing a cameo in their movie. But if I say the movie, it gives away who the person is.
Yeah.
But I think you know what I'm talking about.
We don't want to do that. So, best Nicolas Cage film of 2023.
I'm just trying to think how many made. He made Dream Scenario. He made Reinfeld.
Made a ton, didn't he?
He made one that I liked with. Sorry,
he must be one of the most hardest working actors there is because he's just in. I don't know how he ever has time to do anything else. He's always in films.
I just looked it up and it says here there's been 7: The Retirement Plan, The Old Way, Reinfeld, The Flash, Sympathy for the Devil, Dream Scenario, and Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
All right, so for me, let's take Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse out of the equation because he's only in it at the end. Sympathy for the Devil would be my favourite.
I've not seen any of them.
No, he starred. Joel Kinnaman was in it.
Okay.
Rick Flag.
Yeah.
That was my.
I'm a big Nicolas Cage fan. I've not seen that one.
What one?
Sympathy for the Devil.
Yeah, I did see it. It was all right.
I think my last Nicolas Cage was the Bearable Massive Talent one with Pedro Pascal.
When he's playing himself.
Yeah, I like that one.
It was, it was out there. But one of my subscribers, Larry, sent me a Nicolas Cage film because he knows I'm a Nicolas Cage fan, and he made me. He said, "Well, didn't say make me watch it." He sent it to me to watch because he thought it was the most out of the film. Which is it up there? Prisoners of Ghostland. Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, that's
bombs strapped to him, ain't it?
Yeah, and he's wearing that stilly leather outfit. Isn't
Yeah,
that is the most awful movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, he did that because he wanted to work with the director. That's the reason why. And he owed a lot of money off the back of taxes and stuff and ex-wives, and spent a lot of money, which is why he works so much, because he needs to make. I mean, I think, was it like in 1 year he made like 15 million in the early 2000s, and he was reported to earn about 45 million, and now he owns about 4 million. Because he's just lost money.
Didn't he buy Superman comic #1?
He owned Action Comics issue 1. Yes.
Yeah.
It was then it was then stolen. He lost it. It was stolen. Insurance paid out. The comic was then found, but it didn't go back to him because it now belongs to the insurance company. Yeah.
I was just going to say that again, Larry, my friend, introduced me to this AI tool that can make YouTube videos for you.
Okay.
And I was just playing about with it, and so you put in what you wanted in the video, and it would make one, and it's on my channel somewhere. It's like, I don't know how far back it is, but I challenged it to list Nicolas Cage movies when he was good pre-tax man. That's what I said, and it made a video of his top 10 movies pre-tax man. and it did it. I just thought it was I said, are we going to be eliminated from being YouTube because they can do it all for you? But the tool actually worked really, really well, and it talked about all his movies before the tax man. But he did do some terrible ones when he was trying to pay that off with it, didn't he?
But you're not in the video though, are you? It's somebody else talking.
Yeah, it made it completely on its own, and I just posted it. It literally took 4 minutes, and it counts down, and it says, "This is the Nicolas Cage movies," and it speaks in a voice, like everything like that. And I thought I'll have to give it a go, and it done a really good job, and I thought, that's me eliminated.
Yeah, that's really bad. Everyone eliminated. I agree with Zach there. So I will say that anyone watching, I doubt I'll be able to get to the end of all the comments. But so I'm just flashing some up as we're sort of talking. By the Gods of Science Fiction. It's not seen Continental. I didn't get round to watching it.
I started to watch it, but I didn't finish it.
I don't. Yeah, John Wick 5 for me. Kel, hi Kel, how you doing? Franchise it should end, in my opinion. Expendables, Fast Furious, and John Wick. There's so many franchises that need to.
Yeah, they need to do something different with John Wick to keep it fresh, otherwise it will get stale.
Well, that's what I don't know if you've noticed. If you're talking about movies for 2023, that so many of them, even our predictions for 24, they're so franchise related. It's either like a sequel, a prequel, a remake.
Yeah,
and there's no like original ideas. It's just they're so, we got to have an IP with something just to get people in the seats and stuff.
Although to give due, the good creator was an original sci-fi movie.
That is true,
and it looked fantastic. But it's just, unfortunately, they didn't spend enough time with character development. If they'd have done that, I think it would have been a hit.
Or the characters just bland.
Yeah,
all the characters in the new movies just bland. There's
because they would rather reject characterization for a bit of action. That's what that comes down to.
Straight into it, so the audience doesn't get bored.
There is a 2024 movie that is part of a franchise that I'm quite looking forward to. and that's the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I'd like to see that.
Yes, that hopefully it'll be good.
Although it does look very. It's got that. It looks very fake.
Yeah.
Well,
So how films are looking now. The CGI has got to a point
where it's not as good as it used to be.
Yeah, and you know,
Cheaper.
Yeah, they look. You know, the Godzilla X Kong.
Yeah, that doesn't look great.
Looks fake as hell. Planet of the Apes looked fake. I don't know what's going on with it. But
I watched the Godzilla 1995 movie the other day. The CGI on that was awful.
Oh, the one with
Matthew Broderick. Yeah, I always liked that movie, but I've got a bigger TV than I used to have, and when I looked at the CGI when I was watching it on that, I thought this CGI looks absolutely terrible. But I actually quite enjoyed that movie. But
you should watch Spawn.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
They run out of money.
Oh my word!
No, Reacher
the CGI looks like a 90s computer game.
Yeah. Reacher is a very good TV series.
Yeah, not seen season 2 yet.
No,
they've chosen the right guy for that, haven't they? He's just huge.
Yes.
He's in the Hunger Games.
Yeah, he was from Smallville. He was in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies almost 10 years ago. He was the body of Raphael and the voice, I think, in the first one.
Yeah,
and he got treated really bad in that. He's done. I'm glad he's getting a bit of praise now. Alan Richardson.
Yeah.
Obviously, he done well from Titans.
Yep, that's right. He was the Hulk fella.
Hulk 5, yeah, that's it. Not perfect.
I've watched the first couple of episodes of season 2 of Reacher, but I turned it off not because I wasn't enjoying it, because my wife was coming in and she wanted to see it, and I didn't want to ruin it.
I think it was slower. It was a slower build than the first season. The first episode of season 2 of Reacher, I thought. I watched the first episode. I thought this ain't nowhere near as good as the first season, but then it gets going. It's just a slower build up. So yeah, stick with it.
Not a bad thing, though, is it?
No, it's not.
I just think they've got the character right there because he's huge, and that's what Jack Reacher's supposed to be. But Tom Cruise's Jack Reacher movies were okay, but I think it's the first one where he's surrounded outside in the car park and he's shorter than the rest of them. That's just not the character.
No.
That All Mankind, that's a documentary, isn't it? On
I've not watched it.
Moon landing, I think.
I have watched that, I think, but I can't remember much about it.
Isn't there some Tom Hanks has got some kind of I'm sure it's down in London, some sort of exhibition all about the moon landing. Yeah, it was on just after Christmas or just before Christmas. It was on Graham Norton and talking all about it. It's all on these massive screens in, I don't know where I think it's near King's Cross, actually. Somewhere there. Yeah, you can go and some sort of exhibition.
All right, cool. By the God Science Fiction, I gave up on Fast and Furious when a nuclear submarine was chasing the cars. Nothing wrong with a nuclear sub chasing the cars. Great. Love the Mission Impossible films. Zach says the Mission Impossible films are very solid, but if they wanted to do only 1 or 2 more movies, I'd be okay with that. Yeah, well, Tom Cruise ain't getting any younger, is he? They should finish the films on a high. They should finish on a solid, leave you wanting more as opposed to dwindling off into obscurity. Dungeons and Dragons cartoon did get an ending. There was an episode made years later using the original final episode script. The episode is on YouTube. It's called Requiem. It's canon.
Okay. I know there was a script, but I didn't realise somebody made it into an episode.
There you go. Something you might want to watch, Chris.
Yeah. Add it to my list.
Dafters Bat 1. Hi, guys. What are your thoughts on the latest attempt to bring games back into films? Mario did well, and I hear Minecraft will be turned into a film with, of all people, Jack Black. Oh, this thing's at 1%.
I could see Minecraft Jack Black being a good character. I could see him being that.
I know nothing about Minecraft.
Yeah, I
It's
don't.
basically Lego on computers, so they're squares.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know my kids play it, have played or did play it for a while. But I don't really know. I didn't see Mario either.
I didn't
like
either.
Mario. I thought it was good. I thought there was a lot of subtle undertones, but I think, as I said, I really liked it when I watched it at the cinema. Rewatched it, and I was like, it's not as good as second time around, but it's all right for the kids and that, and a fun little family movie, kind of like Sonic, if you imagine.
I think Roger sums it up there. A very pure year for movies.
Yeah, it wasn't great, was it?
Roger says he misses having trailers when you buy movies.
Yeah.
I miss movie trailers. Yeah, at the start when you used to have. Yeah.
I bought a Blu-ray recently that was lost in translation, and it still had 3 trailers on it you couldn't skip past.
Yeah, but you just got to see so many weird films, didn't you? Come across all these weird and wonderful, and go, oh look, that looks good. I've never seen that before.
And you couldn't skip
Yeah.
them. You had to watch the trailers on the Blu-rays when it done that. Don't they? You couldn't get past it. So.
I did find it annoying when they started getting a few adverts cropping up on films, though, and you couldn't skip them. Mars adverts, they were all seemed to be creeping in.
Blue Roy says he's given carrier bags full of movies to charity shops.
Have you tried like not World of Books, like Movie Magpie? I think they've got an app where you can scan stuff in and they can go pick a load
It's
up
a bit
for
like
you.
CX, though, isn't it? They give you nothing.
Well, you don't know. I'm just saying, or just try and
It's worth a go. I suppose.
yeah.
I'm going to use one of those sites for the movie that I bought off Amazon Germany, which doesn't have any English subtitles, English audio.
Okay.
And I bought 3 copies because I bought a copy and I bought another 2 copies for me and my friends, and then I put it in, and it doesn't have any English audio, and it's the Rainmaker.
Yeah, you should stick to if you know you should look for France. Look on France if that's the.
There's no other Blu-ray release
Yeah.
than the Rainmaker.
Germany's a great place to get stuff, but if it's if it's a dubbed film or that, you won't have English audio. Even if it's a film that's got English foreign speaking parts in the film and you've got English audio, you don't generally have the subs in English for those foreign parts from Germany.
I've got another one up there I've just seen recently, which is Stalingrad, which again I purchased and I thought it was going to have English, but it's not.
On Sunday, I watched the first time. AJ sent it to me. I've actually got 2 copies that he sent me. Inglorious Bastards. I actually had the subtitles on for that because obviously you've got German, French, and English in it. I really enjoyed the film. I thought it was really good. But yeah, I had to have the subtitles up for that. Because I didn't have a clue what he was saying when he was chatting to the French guy. Well, to start with, then he went into English, didn't he?
Yeah.
At the very start.
The Pope's Exorcist's like that, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. He's talking in Latin, isn't he?
And I don't think you're meant to know what he's saying. I don't know whether you are or not. In the Pope's Exorcist, I don't think you're meant to know what he's saying. But I put the subtitle. I was like, have I got the wrong thing here? This is.
Yeah, I think you can get away with it with that, but certainly with that Inglorious Bastards, you needed to really understand what was going on.
No, absolutely.
When he was talking to him in French, and I'm thinking, what are they going on about here? Get the subtitles up. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap it up now because I'm at 1% on this. So this is going to die any minute for me.
Yeah.
So sorry if I didn't get to any comments because there are still a fair few there. Let me just quickly. Actually, there's not that many. So let's see if we can do them quick. If it dies, it's gone, and I'll be gone because my other phone's dead. But you guys might still be on talking.
Okay.
I don't know how it works. What's your supposedly unobtainable unicorn film you would like to get on Blu-ray? So like Holy Grail.
Well,
That-
at the moment,
that's
the Abyss, but hopefully it will be coming
Yeah,
from
the Abyss for me.
import.
They're not doing the UK one, are they?
No,
No, we have to import
and
it.
have to import it.
All because of a
Hopefully-
scene that's already in the movie that
hopefully-
we've already got.
Yeah, maybe France or Germany or Italy might get it rather than having to import it from America.
Daft as a Bat says, do you think Marvel should do the long anticipated fan favourite of Planet Hulk? Or has that ship long since sailed?
So
I don't think they should do Planet Hulk. They kind of mixed that in with Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Certainly World War Hulk, a version of World War Hulk I'd like to see. It won't be the World War Hulk from the comics, the comic story done though, but yeah. Frustrated by the situation to me, so please, I don't know what that's referring to. Sympathy for the Devil was okay. Apparently, it wasn't the script for Cage to have red hair. He just rocked up on set like it. Interesting. Total Killer was a good film too. Total Killer, I didn't see that. Big
We're a
P
fountain of knowledge.
Evening, guys. Just joined, but we'll watch the rest on catch up. What's everyone's most anticipated movie and TV show this year? Oh, there we go. That's a good one. Before we die, most anticipated movie this year.
The Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes for me.
I can't remember. What?
Well,
I was going to say mine is, I think it's called A King Called Arthur. It's about a dog. It's a dog film with Marky Mark. So I like those sort of things. So
what was your Matt?
Twisters. I want to see what they're going to do with another Twister film.
I don't know what I put as number one when I've done my video now. I want to see the Alien movie. The new Alien film.
Twister isn't going to be the same though, is it? Not with the original characters.
No.
It's all right if they put some sharks into the into the tornado.
Speaking of that, have you guys seen the Twister German Blu-ray release with the Aurora sound? Unbelievable.
Yeah, I've got that. Yeah, I've got that. That's very good, actually. Sounds fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. So I've got a 5.1 system, and if the tornadoes sound like they're coming from behind you and everything, that made it almost a whole new movie.
Yeah. I've got Atmos, and it does sound really good. Yeah, I'm sure a 4K will come with the release of that new film.
Cool.
But yeah, I don't know. Obviously, with CGI, the way it's going, could be a bit hit and miss. But still interested to see.
Yeah, to me,
a goer.
I mean, to me, Twisters just sounds like a
board game, like Red Foot, Left Foot Red.
It sounds like, to me, it sounds like a cheap knockoff movie.
Straight to video, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've no idea.
It's not going to be the same with the original characters, I don't think.
No, I think it's. I don't think it's a direct sequel, but I think it's something to do with obviously the research, that they did in the first one. I don't know. I just really enjoyed the first film. I thought it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the comments. I did get through most of the comments anyway. Sorry if I didn't read your comment out and it was just put up or anything like that. And I think I did miss a chunk of comments as well. I was playing around with the tablet and something went awry. I don't
think you missed that many, AJ.
Oh, cool. But yeah, so what's everyone got coming up on their channels? I mean, obviously, I know that for myself and Chris, we're on tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. to talk about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I better stay up all night and start doing some homework and watching some. Yeah,
I'm doing what you're doing, AJ. I'm going through shelf by shelf. I'm not chucking the ones out, but I think it's good to go through your shelves and just remind yourself of what you have. And I've done the first three in my shelves, and then you think there's actually some amazing stuff on there, and there's also probably some dross, like you say.
There is a load of crap. on there.
in there as well. But it's good. It's good to remind yourself of what you go out before you start going buying something. Buying other stuff, because I've got, everybody's got limited space. I've got my shelves are full. I've got a pile of stuff down there, and you can only have so many films. Half the films in my collection I haven't watched, but there's a reason for that, and that's because I want to get them while you can. And if I want to get up and watch a movie, it's sitting on my shelf that I can just pick it out and choose whenever I'm ready. So when I go, I've not seen that yet, it doesn't mean I'm not gonna. But if you've got, I don't know how many movies have you got, AJ?
I wouldn't like to count.
Well, I think I've got about 1,500 Blu-rays.
Yeah,
I reckon. And if you think about that, if you watched one movie a day, that'd take you 5 years to get through them.
I know, it's depressing.
It's not. So if you watch one of your favourites, it could be 5 years before you watch it again.
I know. No, the reason I don't actually know a number, and I don't really want to know a number, is because the minute I know a number, I can assign a cost, a rough cost to that number, and then the reality hits me of how much I've actually spent, and then you've got to take into account that I've upgraded from VHS, because no, this is it. You're looking at your collection, you're thinking, Christ, there's a lot of money here. This is how much stuff I've got. This is how much it's worth if I assign a rough cost to it. And then you think,
it's a penny in CX.
This doesn't include all the DVDs that I had and have gotten rid of. This doesn't include all the VHSs that I haven't gotten rid of. So yeah, I tried to avoid doing that.
Yeah.
First DVDs I bought were the Star Trek DVDs, and I think when I really wanted to collect things, and I think these must have been £22 a time, and I've not chucked them out. But you're right. But most of my stuff these days is from trading in and buying at CX. But that's it. The charity shops now. So I'm out of vouchers, and that's really unusual for me. I've usually got maybe £50 or £60 of vouchers ready to just go in and buy stuff. But the charity shops, the sections for Blu-rays, DVDs, and things like that are just non-existent.
Yeah, because people aren't picking
10 or
up
12 charity shops, and there's none.
Yeah, because you're at a point. Yeah, you're at a point where most people have got rid of the stuff because if they don't, not interested. The only people who really still have physical media are those interested in physical media.
Yeah.
So they're not giving it away.
No.
So you're at this point where stuff is just sitting idle on a shelf or
It's
not.
only, it's only going to be when collectors like me die and my wife takes it down to the charity shop.
Yeah, that's it. That's what
or the CX, and people will be going, who gave that to the charity shop?
yeah.
It was mentioned on stream the other night. Andy over at Electric Geek, he said he thinks there's the possibility in a few years' time, like what's happened with vinyl, that actually a lot of this stuff could become quite retro and quite cool. A lot of people then start looking for it. So don't chuck away stuff that you would maybe regret in the future.
That's what I was saying about the Polly Pockets.
Yeah. So Matt, what have you got on your channel coming up? Anything?
I think there's something on Sunday. I can't remember what it is. I think there's an unboxing on Monday. And then I might try and do a bit of filming this weekend.
Yeah.
I really need to start a new series of films. Series of videos. I've got my rotating thing, so maybe start showing off a few editions and that sort of thing.
So I am going to record a video this week, and I'm not going to spoil it. I'm not going to say what it was, but I was asked a question by someone in one of my videos, a very, very simple question, but it's going to take a video to answer it. It's a very profound. Yeah, it's a very profound question. Let's just put it like that. Probably one of the most profound questions I've ever been asked.
To be or not to be?
Yes, that is the question.
Cool.
whether it's noble in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take up arms against the sea of troubles. There we go. But yeah, so that's it. So, like I said, tomorrow I'm over on Chris's channel at 10 a.m., where Chris will be talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I'll be there just nodding along. And every now and then I might just pipe up and say Donatello, just to make it sound like I know.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. No, I know a little bit.
Megan Fox made a good April O'Neil.
Yeah. Megman Fox. But no, anyway, so I'm going to say goodbye. And thanks for coming on. Thank you, obviously, to Gareth for joining earlier on and for Luke coming on. I don't usually have that many people on at one go, but I thought that's the first one of 2024. I had to think about the year then. So that's all in sort of a thing. So anyway, so thanks for watching, everyone. I will link people's channels to the chat. I can never find it. When I've loaded this up, I can never find it in YouTube, in my YouTube until after it's been.
It's because he doesn't subscribe to us. That's what it is.
And I will add it. So yeah. All right. Anyway, so hang around for a sec and see you later, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Soon. End stream.